Hello everybody, this is Reggie Time and we're back with another episode from the Tankroll to Bankroll, and we're getting pretty close to making the $300 limit to allow us to place in 25 and 0 for a couple of buy-ins, which is pretty exciting. The Bankroll is currently on 251 plus 32, which is 83. This is mostly thanks to this 305 hand session I played earlier, where I managed to snag 3.5 buy-ins, which is pretty sweet. I did give $4 back because I entered. Is it still there? Is it showing still? I entered this tournament. I just saw the NL, presumed it was like a 6 max no limit. I ended up playing it. It ended up being no limit Omaha 8 or better. I didn't realize it was 8 or better until I chopped a pot with the nuts, or what I thought was the nuts, and then we chopped it because I didn't have a low. And yeah, that was it was fun. But then, yeah, so we've lost $4 there, but who cares? We're going to play now. I've got enough stars coins now where we can, wow, it's his first time like that, where we can get close and then maybe jump over the line with some stars coins, rather than like get to, oh, we're nearly there, nearly there, nearly there, and get a bit anxious about it. So if we do manage to win another $8 or $9, we might well, during this video, we might well go and buy the bonus and then end the video with some 25 and L. This is only going to be a 45-minute video because I've been giving some thought to. We looked briefly at my red line yesterday, and it's something I've been giving a little bit of thought to. But it was now we're playing more on sites where I can track stuff like that. Red line for me is like when I start losing a little bit of focus, losing concentration. That's when usually my red line starts to go up. It's because I'm starting to play worse. Basically, that's the nuts and bolts of it. And I feel that after maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I need to take a little break. It's I'm getting older now, and I struggle to concentrate for long periods as well as I used to do. So I'm going to be breaking these videos down now while we're doing the Zoom sessions, at least to 45-minute sessions. And that's actually what I'm going to be doing away from the videos too. Don't really like folding the King Jack here. A6 suited. Doesn't look like we've got anyone particularly aggressive behind, so I think we'll just take a flop. And bet twice now with our King Jack when we get checked back. I think it's going to have a lot of just random height rep stuff that's missed. 10-9, 10 Jack, King Queen, things like that. Ace X obviously too. But we're going to bet again. I mean, there's every chance he's just going to snap us off with a hand like Ace 10 here or something, but he raises. I'm not really sure why he reps here when he raises. I mean, we're going to fold obviously because we have King High, but from his perspective, he's checked back flop, he's checked back, he's just called turn, now he wants to raise river. Doesn't make a whole bunch of sense whatever he's doing it with, but it's not really a problem for us because we don't have anything. Pretty good flop for Ace King. I guess we're going to just bet here and not really be looking to fold unless the board runs out like super wet, like lots of diamonds or something. A bluff now with my Ace 3. I think he would lead a king on the turn. Maybe he would lead a 10 as well, so when he doesn't lead the turn, don't really just want to give him an easy ride with slightly better aces or like some small pocket pairs that are just going to fold. was about to check this. He'd lead out. Well, we can't fold just yet, of course. And pick up the straight draw now to go with our up top pair. It's going to be a tough decision on the river. I think his sizing is going to dictate what we're going to do here. I think we're going to call at that size. So I was going to possibly fold if he bombed. It's a crying call, this one. I'm far from in love with this situation. It's very much a crying call. And yeah, happy days. If this chap had more chips, I would consider playing this hand, but he doesn't, so we're done. A pretty easy check, call, decide on table 2. The worse the board runs out, the more we're going to be leaning towards folding, I guess. So he bets flop, checks back turn. Doubt he's checking back like anything with an 8 in it on the turn. I guess he's going to continue barreling with his 8x. Don't think he's going to be checking back a flush draw. Or, yeah, I think we can just check and maybe go for a raise on this river, just in case he goes for thin value with like an ace king or an ace queen, something like that. I am not going to 3-bet against somebody who's only been raising 5% so far. And he just had a 9-jack that he decided he wanted to show down once he hit his 9. Again, situation I'm not in love with. We've got a 20/5 who's opened and then c-betting, but we have second pair with a good kicker. I'm not sure our hand's strong enough to bet for value. Players like this might just like bet queens and kings on the flop and then just get like go to check down with them. So we're going to check again. Probably the intention of folding if he bets. And we have the ace of diamonds, so I'm going to raise with it because just basically because of his sizing. Doesn't look to me like the kind of sizing somebody makes when they have like a decent value hand. And if we are wrong and he does call, then we obviously have 2 overcards and a backdoor flush draw to be getting on with. It's just like the speed and the size of his bet didn't look great to me. I was going to isolate Kitty Burgia, but now I'm not. Just because of stack size, by the way, where we didn't isolate with the offsuit ace. This hand's been weird. It's like weak flop bet, call, then check, call, turn. And I hope this isn't really one of those spots where he's just done something a bit silly with a hand like 2 queens or something on the flop, or I wouldn't be at all surprised to see us get check raised on the river here by a like weirdly played, pretty strong hand. But we're loading up and we're going for it. And he gets through, and that hand was just, it was weird. No real idea what he was doing there. This is where stats can sometimes be quite deceiving, because I've seen quite a few players that have had like reasonable stats, like stats that you would think, oh, this guy's a regular, and then they just do that some of the weirdest shit post flop. And that's not saying that I don't sometimes do some weird bad plays post flop, but I see lots of like strikingly bad plays. We're going to go for a check raise on the turn here, because at the moment unlimited starts we have some c-bet 60, 70, barrels turn 100. So I'm going to allow him a chance to double barrel, then hopefully get a raise in. Still consider we have the nuts at this point. If he's got the 8-5 or the 5 tray, then absolutely more power to him. He's raising them under the gun. He deserves to get paid royally when he hits with them. Make a stab here with my flush draw against Bob's hardware. Take it down, and we must be getting damn close now to, that's $10, $12 with the, I guess with the if we were to go by the bonus now, we'd be over $300. So should we do that? I think we should. We'll set out next big blind, go on by the bonus, and we'll finish up the video with some 25NL action. Okay, so we were back with some 25NL. You guys shouldn't notice, it should be seamless. So here we are now with $304. Let's do some 25NL. Oh, restricted. Yep, so we've got rid of the restriction now, but it takes 24 hours. I put them restrictions in place when I came to the site so I could I don't really know why I did it, to be honest with you. It was just kind of like a mental thing. Right, let's just restrict ourselves to this limit until we get to the next one. And my plan was just to keep moving it up. I'm not really sure why I did it, to be honest with you. It doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. But I did. And we are where we are. So we're going to finish the video off with some 16L still. And I'll have it stamped on my brain. 20 to 2 tomorrow in the AM if I'm up and I'm playing. And we're over $300, we can have some 25NL fun. There won't be another video now until either it's a 25NL video, or if we drop back below the threshold tonight, then I maybe make another 16NL video tomorrow. We'll bet this turn if he checks. We're going to bet turn and river. Looks like he's just got an ace high or just like random high cards. I think he'll probably stab, not this play in particular, but in general, will stab pairs when this turn checks through. Now, if you did have like an ace high or something, he's not folding it. If he did have a pair, he might now fold a pair. But what pair? He's obviously not going to fold 2 6s. He has 2 7s. I think he leads 2 8s on the turn, or bet 2 8s and better. I actually think because the gut shot's got there with the ace high, so I think I'm just going to check this back and just give up. Yep. Just have a little pat on the back there. If the wheel didn't come, then it was a wheel, wasn't it? Yeah, if the wheel didn't come, I would have definitely bet again there. Holding a few too many hands for my liking right now, but we are getting dealt complete rags, so not an awful lot we can do about it. I'm not going to fold if Asti WP squeezes. 2 overcards, backdoor flush and straight draws. I think we'll go for a bet. It's too big, that bet, I think. It worked anyway. Really not fond of like a min-raise isolation bet. Don't think that's something that anyone who's close to being competent would do. Unless he misclicked, of course. Right. I don't care what these guy's stats finish up being. He clearly doesn't really know how to size his bets. I'm far from in love with this situation, but while he keeps betting small, we're just going to keep paying him. If he goes for a bomb here, we're going to fold. I have literally no fucking clue what's going on in this hand. But yeah, we'll fold. And the whole point of making an isolation raise is to try and isolate your opponent. When you min raise a limper, there's no way you're going to knock the blinds out very often. So it just doesn't achieve what you're wanting it to achieve, and any good player understands that. So that's why I don't think a good player would do that. Such a thing. Yeah, we're just going to fold our A7. We don't have anything. don't normally wait with the 10-8, but when we got someone who's playing looks like quite weak tight in the blinds, I will wait to try and steal with it. If I have 10-8 and it looks like there's an active regular in the blinds, and I usually just snap fold it from the small blind and crack on with getting some more hands in. I don't think Babe or Scrub has a flush very often at all here. Don't think I'll be folding if we get raised. He's like check back a flush draw on the flop then. And good for him. I would expect most regulars to just see bet flush draws on that flop. So if we do get raised, we're just going to pay him off and not going to worry too much about it. Chop it up. He kind of nip rolled me there a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Unless he was contemplating route. No, there's no way he was raising, was there? No way he was contemplating raising. Maybe he's just got lots of tables going. Not that fond of set mining here when it looks like we may have two pretty aggressive players in the blinds, albeit with like small sample, limited sample size. I'm pretty much always ahead of Asti WP here. This may not be a great bet, but I'm really worried about Bruno BSB having us beat. I don't really want to give too many free cards in a multi-way pot. If someone's in there with like 10-9, if someone's in there with King Queen, then we do risk this happening to us where we get check raised on like a really dry board. Doesn't bet very much. Don't think he's doing it with 7. Guess is most likely holding, so value are going to be sets of deuces and sets of 3s. But I think we can just fold. Just don't want to give free cards in a multi-way pot with a on a board that's pretty good for our hand. But yeah, when we do get check raised, it's a pisser because we can't really take very much heat. Even if he is bullshitting, if he's going to keep the pressure on, he's going to make life really quite hard for us. Hopefully he buys our miss flush draw here. And you won't often see me betting 2 6s on 7XX dry. I just think in multi-way pots when it's checked to us, it's not going to get much better than that for us, is it? So we're basically betting there just to pick the pot up, just to, for want of a better way of putting it, just to protect our hand. It's not that we can like have it checked through when the turn comes in 8 and we can just like call down twice anyway. So yeah, I'm fine with the play. Didn't work out, but I'm fine with it. good shot, but we don't have any clubs in our hand, which is pretty good in terms of maybe being able to barrel off here, maybe have a flush draw called twice and then fold the river, that type of thing, or maybe have a 7 call a couple of times and fold, or just picking the pot up right now. Here we go. Hopefully he doesn't have 2 aces. Wow, 2 4s. That is bonkers. We'll take it though. That I'm not really sure. I like his like 4-bet call it off there. I mean, that's what I was talking earlier about regulars. That this guy was clearly regular given his stats, and he just like 4-bet calls it off with pocket 4s, blind versus blind. And who knows, maybe he's just tilting his tits off. But here he is again. This is the guy. Look, you know, he just looks solid, 23-17, and he just does something like that, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Make a secret on table 2 with all our back doors. Only really going to continue on the diamond. Well, we're not going to continue at all now. The plan was to continue on the diamond, on a 3, on a 7, which gives us quite a few cards that we can continue on. But once we get raised, it's the most trivial of spots to find a fold. Well, I was going to check back these flops, so if I was going to check it back, then I guess just calling makes sense. If you min bets a turn again, we'll be betting for sure. If he bets big here, we'll just call. If he checks, we'll fold. So we'll bet. He really has bet big, hasn't he? I mean, if he's got a 3, hallelujah. Again, absolutely no fucking clue what was going on there. It's nice to have some heat. 497 hands. We made $84 at 16 and L in 500 hands. So that is a beautiful thing. And I don't even think I've like earned it, if you will. I mean, I played solid, but it's mostly been a product of people just dumping stacks on me, which I don't expect to find at Zoom very often. But again, as we said earlier, we look at stats and the games look really reggy and tough to beat, but then when we actually sit and play in them, they're not actually that tough, which is a pleasant surprise for me. And the bonus of having stats, so we can choose which hands to add or subtract from our ranges pre-flop, makes me feel a lot more confident with the hands I'm opening than it does when I'm playing in Snap when there's lots more like players I don't really know much about, and I have no stats whatsoever to back me up. So it's just based on like, what do I think of this player rather than what do I actually know about this player. Maybe the king deuce to defend. I'm not sure. Don't really want to 3-bet my 9s here, do I? I think I'd rather play a pot with a limper as well. Guess we'd like to see a 9 somewhere on the middle of this board. Nope. Although that flop does make a hand incredibly easy to play. Our friend Sanek from earlier who did that weird min race thing. This doesn't feel great on table 2 with his king 10, but he's just completed the small blind. He's checked the flop, he's just check called the turn, now he's checked the river, and we have king high. I wasn't really expecting the hero card to come in with the ace 4, but whatever. So that doesn't bother me. I think I feel that I played the hand okay. So if I play a hand okay or better and I lose, it literally 100% of the time does not bother me. I get bothered when I make a mistake that's either I shouldn't have made, or even worse, when I like consciously make a mistake. And we've all done it. None of us really want to admit it, but when you know and you fired a bluff out that you know is a fucking terrible bluff, or when you make a call and you just know you're fucking dead, they're the mistakes that really annoy me. If I make a bluff that doesn't work because someone calls with a hand that I wasn't expecting them to call with, then fair dues. I'm not too fussed about that. Playing significantly tighter tonight than I played last night, and there's no real reason for that. I guess it's just like the hands that have been dealt. Pick up a pair that I think is irrelevant. I'm not going to check just because we've made that pair. Continue with our bluff. With the ace jack, entitled to have a stab now. We've picked up a good shot. We've still got 2 overcards. Someone who's only playing 8/6 over 63 hands. Be opening literally any 2 against them. Where are you from, Dr. Steinman? Germany. You don't see too many Germans that take that style. Again, open any two. I think we really only have to get through the small blind. 5-2 off is literally a hand I would open almost 0% of the time from all positions, but we have someone in the blinds who's pretty much just not playing anything. We feel we've only got one person to truly get through. Any two will do at that point. Like any kind of backdoor here, I would maybe think about continuing, but we don't. We just missed about as hard as we can. Is our friend Sanic doing his weird stuff again? I mean, for 32, for 2 big blinds, we can just afford to call. Yeah, good for him. He's got the hand. I'm not at all worried about what happened there. Yeah, we know we beat a lot of the time, but we're getting like insane pot odds. Three betting here because over a limited sample, he does look like he may be aggressive. Didn't work out. Move on. Looks like a pretty good river on table 1. The Jack 10's got there, of course, but other than that, I would hope we have the best hand. And for the big bet, you know, just to get value from like hands like pocket 10s, king queen that didn't decide to bet the turn, or queen jack, queen 10, that type of thing. Kind of thinking there, if he's got like a reasonable pair and it's cheap enough because the pot's pretty small, he's maybe going to pay off. A larger bet, because even a larger bet into that pot's still a relatively small bet in like the bigger picture. That isn't a turn I'm going to barrel. My plans for barreling on this were going to be any jack, ace, queen, king, 10 or diamond. None of those cards. The 4 of hearts isn't one of them. C-bet stat seems on the slightly low side today at 40%, but again, probably just a sample size thing. My C-bet doesn't often get above 50 these days. I try to be a bit more selective with the hands that I am C-betting. And I try and bet things that I can just continue with aggression with rather than just be one and done a lot of the time. I'll try and C-bet in spots where I can have realistic ambitions of being able to bet turn and bet rivers, both of value and with some like hopefully well picked out bluffs. Now that's why has he just gone green? Because I didn't put in green, did it? That's maybe why the tagging thing was going wrong last night. Maybe I was tagging people just as tables were changing. Who knows? So we've got around 5 minutes to go in the video. Hopefully some more interesting things will happen before we're done for the day. Looks like we might get our wish. That's like 25% of our stack is over by 25. Yeah, 25 big blinds. Probably a little bit too big. Yeah, I think that's maybe too big. I certainly haven't got like my 4-bet sizing and stuff down very well at 16, and it's not a limit that I'm used to playing. 4 was too big there, I think. 25 big blinds. Should have been about maybe, yeah, it was way too big actually. More like 320, 336 would have been much better. Never mind. I actually said it as well, didn't I? That's 25% of my start, whatever. Yeah, it was too big. That was a mistake. And a very avoidable mistake too. There was no time pressure on me. I was figuring it out and just thought, yeah, that'll do anyway. But no, it was too big. Which, if you talk to my wife or my exes, isn't typically a problem that I have, but never mind. With 3-bet ace queen versus a cut-off open. Not versus a middle position open though, one from the small blind. That's a nice hold on table 2. Table 2. It's just a call, isn't it? Do a 6 of spades dance. Nope. 6 of spades dance actually produced a 4 of diamonds. Need more work on our. Right. Let's think about this one for just a moment. We'll see that next hand here because this might be the last hand. Do I want to 4-bet here and just call it off against someone who is slightly on the loose aggressive side? Let's see if our notes tell us anything. Not really. Guess we'll just go for it. Will not be remotely excited if he jams, but not really 4-betting ace king suited to fold it. Say, oh, there's an ace though. We didn't want 2 of the fuckers, did we? Come on then, we'll take hearts. No, we won't. Chop it up. I'd like to say that was a fair result, but it wasn't, was it? We got lucky. Yeah. Don't feel too good about that, but what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Can't value bet this river. I think we can maybe think about check calling though, depending on sizing. Wow, he just drops the hammer. He just drops the hammer. Limping. Only min race pre, didn't he? We call check flop, bet turn, he calls. Check river, he pots it. I'm going to have better hands than 9-5 there to call with. Right, anyways. See that next blind, we're at our 45 minutes. Maybe we just go like bet on like paired boards. It's pretty polarizing. And to be fair to him, he probably should have pulled the trigger on the river and put me in a tough spot there to just give up. Versus a line I took. Doesn't seem great to me to bet twice, give up river. I mean, I may well have called. Because I do find, like, when people fire 3 streets on paired boards, I think lots of players are, like, bluffing too much there. This guy kind of gets stuck in a bluff. It's hard to, it's hard to have trips, right? So if I'm ever going to mix, maybe with the ace 3 I don't do the call. Maybe with the ace something else I do. Who knows? But yeah, it's been another good session. We've made $85 in 600 hands. We didn't make that in our session though. The video session. That's the graphs in 16 and that happened. I'm pretty pleased with that. That's sexy. Our session was 302 hands, 52 minutes, and $31. So yep, pretty pleased how it's going so far. Certainly better than expected. Next video hopefully will be a 25-0 video. Assuming that when I'm playing 16 they'll zoom tomorrow until my restriction comes. If we're still over 300, it'll be time to make a 25-0 video. We'll leave it there for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.